Good day. Oh, just tracked the delay on Twitch. It's terrible. And that's set to low latency mode as well. It's got very much more latency than YouTube does. Nah, fam. That's just Twitch. YouTube is good. It's like a solid 5 seconds ahead. Oh well. We are going to sit about for a few minutes, see if anyone else rocks up and decides to join in. To everyone that's already here, hello. Good to see you as always. As you can see, we have our lovely Trello board up here. I can close that one. And yeah, today we are doing menus and respawning, which I'm gonna put a little thing in here. Create menu system. Oh no, not you. Oh wait. Oh, I just saw a delete button and then I didn't press it. It was a mistake. So core feature. I guess systems and aesthetics as well. So yes, as the title states, today we are going to be covering some menu stuff. We're going to be working on some UI animation for levels if we get to it. Controller supported menu system. So buttons, fancy animations and all that good stuff. And we're also going to be doing, like I said, some respawning to complete the play loop, the game loop for the first iteration of this here game. Now, I'm not 100% what the state of the game is right now, because I I did some things while I was making the last devlog and I'm not sure if I changed them back. An important thing to note though is I'm going to change the entire level generating system because it's too restrictive. Oh, that was a little bit of a bug there. Yeah, there's a lot of bugs to work out and the levels are just, it's not wide enough. I need more like horizontal movement because just climbing up is kind of dead. Oh, I got no reference exception being thrown here. Line 44. Well, let's have a look at this. Seeing as we got a bug, let's dive in and see if we can fix it, because it should be easy. I see no reason why this should have broken, especially when that works. So let's find out. Line 44 of the item pickup. How's everybody doing today? Anybody excited for Christmas? Have you done all your Christmas shopping? Because I haven't. I am behind. Current player. Huh. Well, that's a weird bug. And one that I really can't be bothered to fix right now. I don't want to do that on this stream. I want to keep it predominantly designy and a little bit more fun. So, menus it is. Now, we need to create a couple of things here. We need to create, first of all, a button. And that's going to be the primary component. Nice. Good job finishing your shopping. I still have like a couple last bits to do. I need to get on with it because it's getting a bit close. Bit close indeed. Right. I'm going to start off by creating a new canvas and I'm going to call this menu UI. Now, a part of the process of creating this this menu system will be refactoring the way that the player input works slightly, and that's, you know, that's always fun. Not. There we go. So this can be our pause menu. Should we do a nah, let's do a death menu first, because at least then we can get straight on to doing respawning. Death menu. And we need to be in the scene view for this so we can have a proper looky at our canvas. So I am going to have it centered slap bang in the middle of the screen. And what am I going to do here? Going to create a... We're going to start off by making our button. No, let's start off by making a panel for our death menu. We are going to use the basic square sprite, full opacity, and we'll just give this a good little stretching up so it's like that kind of size. And of course we're going to change the color to be our light brown. And you know what, let's call this background. Background, going to duplicate that again, have another sub thing, call this background dark, background underscore dark. I'm going to shrink it in a little bit, just holding Alt to make sure it scales from the center, and we're going to use our dark color so it's like a nice little mid-screen. Okay, so this is going to be our basic menu thing. An important thing I need to do as well is on here I need to set this to scale with screen size, and then set the reference resolution to 4K, which is 3840 by 2160. So all of the scaling is nice and normal because that's the size of the camera we've got at the moment in the Unity engine. Let's make our button. I'm actually gonna duplicate this because I quite like having the outline. I'm gonna make the outline thinner for these buttons, aka make this bit bigger. So you can see up in the top we've got this this button kind of thing coming together, and then of course a button needs some text, so we are going to add UI Text Mesh Pro, make sure it's scale to fill. I'm actually going to make that child background dark and then set it to scale to fill to make sure that it doesn't go outside of that black background. We will make it center justified. Set the correct font. It's Quicksand font. And I'm going to just set the text to restart so that we've got a bit of a reference. And of course use our light color, which I'm going to make a little bit lighter for the purposes of the button. I'm also going to make it bold, I think. Let's scale it up a bit and see how it looks. So you can see it on the game screen here. This is what our menu is looking like so far. So for the pause menu, we're going to have a quit button, and I've got it written down here. We're going to have a restart, main menu, and a quit button, which for the time being aren't going to do anything because, you know, why would they? We're going to implement that later. But for now, we're going to keep just this one button because I'm going to put some scripts on it, which we'll make in a minute. First things first though, I'm actually going to duplicate this same text, stick it at the top, and have this scale to fit. That's going to make it really small. Scale it up to fit, oopsie daisy. Scale it up to fit this this brown box here. Have it up the top. Why can I not see it? Why can't I see it? Just set the text to "you died" with an exclamation mark while we figure out why I can't see it. And I think it's because it needs to be below here. There we go. So hierarchy wise, things at the top of your list render behind and things at the front, down at the bottom, render on front. So we're going to actually, I'm going to change the shape of this. Let's do this like that. Do that a bit like this. Scale that down, and we're going to move it down a bit. And then set the font size. Let's set it to like 120. 150. Nice and big and bold up here on the top. You died. And then I'll tell you what, because they're fun, I'll have a little death quote, which will be, at least I put in full effort, ... and it's not going to be bold, it's going to be italic, and this one is going to be a stretch to fit. Oh. I keep forgetting that stretch to fit on this one is really not as big as I expect it to be. Font for this is going to be smaller though, and we'll have it fit inside a little box that can just sit underneath the title like that, and we'll make that completely center justified as well, so that it sits in a nice looking place. I think that looks good so far. What do you guys think? Looking good? Looking good? Gonna just move this button down a bit more actually. Let's see if I've got space for 3 buttons, because 3 buttons is how many we want. This button would need to move up a little bit to get the right spacing. I'm going to move them up a bit more actually. They look kind of weirdly placed when they're that low down. There we go. Cool. So obviously these buttons, we're going to have restart. I'm going to leave it named as button for the time being, but I'm going to update this text just so we can see a picture of how it's going to look. We got restart. We're going to have options. No, not options. Main menu. Which, you're going to need, I'm going to need to make the font size a little bit smaller. And quit game, which I can just leave as quit actually. That makes a lot more sense. And then let's just decrease this font size a little bit. Make it something along the lines of like 82.5. Or even just 80 actually. 80 might look good. Yeah, I think that looks good. It's looking pretty cool. So this is our death menu. I might, for the sake of it, just make this underlined because no, that makes it screw it. Let's go with it. Let's go with it. Our basic death menu. So I want to make a system that is uniform across like everything. So, you know, if a menu can appear or disappear, especially things like this menu, we'll basically duplicate this menu for the pause menu and just rename everything, give it a reskin. So we want everything to have the same animations and for it to be drag and drop, and it's going to be the same for the menus and the buttons. So we're going to start off by animating this menu with a, the signature bouncy pop-up animation. Call this menu floating menu underscore pop-up. And we're literally just going to toy with the scale, because if we do it with the scale, okay, so here we go. Let me explain this better. UI elements in Unity have two things. They have width and a height, or a like a position of each side, like an anchor thing, and they also have the scale. We've just created this box to be the shape that it is using the width and height of the thing. So if we go in and change the width of the height in the animations, we can't then in future go and say, actually, I think this menu needs to be wider, because it will break the animations, or the animations will override that value and it won't be wider anymore. If we use the scale, we can scale this thing as much as we want and it'll be absolutely fine. So let's start off by hitting our record button, heading over 15 frames. We're going to set the scale to 0 on all axes, just so I've got a frame for 0. There we go, does a pop-up, and we're going to do a similar thing that, you know, we always do. Scale it up to be bigger than it is, then scale it to be a little bit smaller than it needs to be, then a little bit bigger, and then back down small. Boing. That might be a bit too speedy. Let's just stretch all of this out a bit. That one's going to be like there. Like that. I think that's a bit too long now. We're just going to scale down the whole thing. There we go. Nice juicy bounce up animation. So this is going to be our menu pop-up animation. Every time the menu opens, it'll pop up like that. It's nice and fun. Cool. I'm going to copy none of it. I'm just going to go here, create a new clip, floating menu underscore close. Hit the record button, go about 5 frames in, we'll scale it up, and then we're going to move forward a bit further, scale it up a tiny bit more, and then head over to like frame 25 and set the scale to 0. 0, 0, 0. Cool. There we go. So that's given us this nice kind of type animation. That's the sound I imagine it would make. Make it a bit quicker so it doesn't quite take as long to close, because we want it to be snappy. And that is all the animations we need for our menu at the moment. I might also make a actually no, we can just use the close and pop up. So I'm thinking about if for example the pause menu would have an options button. When you press that options button, do I want it to disappear off the screen and then pop up the new one, or what? We can just use the same animation for the time being. Keeps life easy. It means we don't need to fluff about with anything particularly to get it to be nice. It'll just work. So there we go. That's those. Now we're going to do the same for our button. We're going to give it much similar animations. Cool. Let's get this button centered on the screen. So a button needs a few animations. We need an animation for when it's selected, deselected, and clicked, basically. Those are going to be our 3 animations. So actually pretty straightforward. Oh, I should have animated the button first, because it's gonna... Okay, we're gonna add an animator component onto here. I didn't want to do it on that button. I want to do it on button 1. Button 1, add component, animator, and then if we click off and back on, it gives us the option to create new clips, because it's got its own animator that needs to be played with. So we're going to create a button underscore deselected, unselected. No, deselected. Inactive. So indecisive. So it's literally just going to be this. I'm going to go a few frames forward, scale it up, and then delete that frame at the end. So it's literally just a single frame of it as it is normally. New clip. button underscore selected. Now we've got a question here. We can either have it going like doing a scaly pulse thing, or we can have it do the bounce like most other animations in this game do. What do we think? I want some opinions. Should I go for a little floaty vibe like that, or should I have it just boing and stay bigger? What do we think? I'm waiting. I need some feedback. Need some feedback from somebody. No, I'm just gonna have to make a rash decision. I don't want to do that. I'm sleepy. So what I am gonna do though is just whoops. Where is it? There it is. Scale that out a little bit so it's even. No feedback. I'm gonna go with the bouncy. Because bouncy is nice and easy to get feeling juicy. Whoops, I need the scale tool. Have it be like that big when it's fully selected, maybe a little bit smaller actually. Just as long as it's obvious that that's what's selected. And then of course do the usual, make it bigger, make it smaller, make it a little bit bigger, and then back down to where it needs to be. That looks horrible at the moment. That one needs to be close, that one needs to be further away. Let's make this a little bit smaller so that bounce feels a bit more juicy. And let's bring it all a bit closer to the start. Cool. So that's that, and then final clip is button press. Button underscore press. Which for this one, I want it to do like a flash, I think. Bit of a white flash. So what we could do actually, if I want to be real fancy. Do I want to be real fancy? No, I don't want to be real fancy. We're keeping it simple. We're just going to scale it well in. Needs to be quicker than that though. Actually, yeah, we will flash it. We will make it flash. So here I want to edit the colors. Color of the background to be white. Maybe like a... undo that. Make it just brighter. There we go. That's good. So that looks really quick on here. Let's maybe not shrink it down that much. Whoa, that's the wrong thing. Button. There we go. And then I'm going to copy this end frame, Control C, and paste it a little bit closer. Cool. Got this nice flash. And I'm also going to add this thing called an event here, and that eventually is going to trigger a thing that will play some sound when we click it. Cool, I think we're done. So these other two buttons are gonna go. I'm gonna delete them because they were just there for reference. We want to keep this restart button for the time being. So the new scripts that we need are, let's create a new folder called UI Management. And we're going to create a couple of new scripts. We're going to create a C# script called menu button. Menu button. And we'll also create a script called menu. Come on. Just compiling that new script. Menu button manager. Which really I should have just called menu, not menu button manager, because we'll also have a menu manager. So yeah, you know what, let's rename this to menu. I need to open it first, because otherwise it's going to be like, can't find the file. And yeah, we don't want things to be broken like that. Menu. Let's sort out my screens as well so we can do some nice tabbing. Now we can rename this script to menu. Cool. Let's open up these. So we're going to open up menu and menu button for the time being, because menu manager is going to be more applicable when we have multiple menus going on, like a start menu or the pause menu with the options menu thing. And then we can have, you know, we'll have an array of menus, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so menu button, we are going to have a public animator, button animator, public void awake. In our awake function, we're going to say that button animator is going to equal this dot get component animator. So the animator that we've got on us. Whoops. And we're going to need to do some things. So we want a public void click is going to do what we want it to do when it gets clicked, which we're going to do with a Unity event. So public Unity event. I need to make sure I am using Unity engine dot events. The events, public Unity event, button click event. Nice. I think that's everything a button needs. Oh, we also need a public void, let's call it set state, and it's going to take in a bool active, and we're going to say button animator dot set bool selected, and we're going to set it to active. Like that. We also need to do button animator dot set trigger, and we're going to call this trigger click, and we'll also do our button click event dot invoke to fire off whatever that event needs to do. So cool. That's everything we need to do for buttons, basically. It's literally just going to be like a holder for doing the animations and firing off events when we click something. So let's go and smack that onto our button here. Where is it? There it is. Menu button. Pop that on there. And we're then going to make this as a prefab so that our button is always going to be the same. Now we can do the duplicate and move down. I think that's about the same spacing. It's close enough. So now we can name these as well. We're going to have restart button. We're going to have menu button. So I'll tell you what. Let's call this a quick restart button, because the menu button will effectively take you back to a hub rather than a menu itself, and then you can quit out later, much in a similar way as Spelunky does. And then we'll have a quit game button, which will end the game. The issue with this one, I'll get on to what the issue with that one's going to be in a minute. Let's rename the text. So this one is going to be our main menu button. And this one is going to be our quit button. Nice. That puts us in good stead. So, before we move on, let's set up our button animator as well. Over in our... No, don't do that, don't do that. Our little page here, so the default state is going to be an active. Yep. And then we are going to make transitions between all of these. So if it's an active, it will become selected. If it's selected, it can be pressed. Blah, blah, blah. Parameters. We need that Boolean. What do we call it? Selected. I'm pretty sure. Yep, there it is. And we need our trigger. Click. Not clock, click. Like that. So for our active, well, obviously I want to have 0 exit time, and it's going to be when selected is true. The opposite for our going back, have selected be false. And then for when we press it, we're going to have, again, 0 transition time because we want it to press straight away. That's going to be when click triggers. And then this one is the one that's going to have the exit time. Going to set the transition duration to 0 and the exit time to 1. So we have 1 cycle of the animation before it stops. Cool. So now we need to do some stuff in our menu script. So a menu is going to have a animator itself, and in public animator, menu animator. It's what's going to control the pop up and pop down and stuff. So on public void awake, we're going to say menu animator equals this dot get component animator, much like we did in button. So make sure that's got its animator on it. We're also going to have a public array of buttons called menu buttons. Nice. And we'll have an integer as well, public int called current button index, which will be equal to 0 by default. We need a public void change index. So this is going to be one of our input-based methods. What we're going to do is, like I said, we're going to have to change the way that the input works with the player. So instead of it being the case that instead of it being the case that the player input is on the player controller itself, we're going to add a class called player, which handles all things for judgment, including having a reference to the player controller, but also having all of the menu control as well. Alright, we're still good. We're still good. Thought the Wi-Fi might have went for a second, but we're okay. So this is going to take an int direction, which is going to be, you know, basically +1 or -1, depending on the input of the player controller. So in here we are going to say, oh, I am panicking. I keep seeing YouTube start losing quality, and I'm like, oh, where's the Wi-Fi going? Okay. So when we trigger this change index even, we want to first of all store, we're going to make a template called previous index, nope, equal, if we we're going to increase, if we pass a negative one, we're going to decrease, makes perfect sense. Then we want to say current button index equals mathf.clamp. I'm going to clamp it between 0 and, oh wait, no, we need to pass in current button index, and then the minimum value, it can be 0. There, are we, what? It's still going, it seems, it's just being really bad, really. Tell you what, bear with me a second, guys. Let me be back in like 5 minutes. Just do a quick. Wha? Alright, we're back. How's it looking now? Still slow, or is it feeling a bit better? It's giving me like terrible beef. It's like this is not going well. Yeah, it's fluctuating. It's fluctuating. It's probably because I'm like streaming music and streaming YouTube, Twitch all at the same time, and the Wi-Fi is just being trash at the moment. For the moment. How's that looking for people now? I'm watching on stream to see if the quality is alright. I think it's still going. Yeah, it's still going. I'm just terribly good at staying still. Okay. Alright, let's get back to it. Let's get back to it. No, it's just being really choppy still. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens. Let's close down this for the time being, though. There we go. Leaves me just keeping track. So anyone on YouTube, if you end up typing anything in chat, I don't have view of YouTube chat anymore. Go and watch on stream on Twitch, and I'll see if I can fix the Wi-Fi for next Tuesday after Christmas. But we'll see. It's frustrating. Anyways, back to where we were. We want to clamp the value of our current button index between 0 and menu buttons dot length -1. So for example, in the case of this menu where we have 3 buttons, that's going to clamp it between 0 and 2, which means we get 3 values, 0, 1 and 2. That's exactly what we need. And then we're going to say menu buttons at current index. Let's do previous index dot set state false, and menu buttons at the new current index dot set state to true. We can get rid of the update function because we don't need it, and we also need a public void click button. Stop. There we go. And for this one, we are simply going to do menu button. No. Menu buttons dot. Menu buttons current button index dot click. Invoke that click. Hey, Alan's here finally. There we go. Here's a question, because I'm still a Twitch noob. What's up with the crown by your name, Alan? I actually don't know what that means, and because I'm looking on my phone, I can't like click on it and see anything. Kavinsky 17. Amazon Prime. What? How does that work? And yeah, I need to make you guys chat mods. You're gonna be mods of Discord as and when that happens, if and when that happens. Look, I'm simple, okay? Simple man, simple premises. Whoopsie daisy. Right, okay, so this menu's done. This menu's good. We will need to do a menu manager because we need to keep track of current menus and all that, but we'll get to it in a minute. For the time being, I want to just make sure that all of this current menu is working. So on our def menu, let's add on the menu. What am I doing? What am I doing? Where's my menu script? It's down here. Menu. There we go. I called it menu manager. Nice. Let's see, French menu. Gonna go on my death menu, and then for this floating menu pop up and the floating menu close, I'm also going to ooh, if I disable the object, is that gonna cause me problems? Yes, it will. I think if I disable that, it's, yeah, okay. Alright, we're not going to do that. It's going to look a bit dodgy for the time being, but we will move with it. So the issue that we're going to have is that the menu is going to be there by default. We also need some transitions between these. Can you sub for free once per month? Oh, you guys are funny. You guys are funny. Alright, we're good. So, I think I stuck the menu on there. Yes, I did. Menu buttons. Let's grab, we'll do the same thing we did last time. Lock our thing, grab all these buttons and drag and drop them into there. So now we have our 3 buttons. And theoretically, when we hit awake, we want to do this. Menu buttons dot current button index dot set state true. After we've got our animator. So now, tell you what as well, we're going to do some manual jamming. We're going to set bool, we're going to have this active, and we'll use this active boolean to move between here and here. We're going to have no transition time, no exit time, and we're going from open to close when active is false, and the opposite for the opposite. Cool. I was using my work laptop to peep on chat, but the Wi-Fi was having an attack, which it looks like it still is, to be fair, but I don't want to stream a whole bunch of things on a whole bunch of different places just for the sake of how temperamental the Wi-Fi is at the moment. I don't want it to, you know, crash and burn halfway through. If one of you two wants to keep an eye on YouTube for me, that would be blessed, but understandable if not. Oh, that's a good shout. That is a good shout. I didn't even think about that. Tell you what, we'll get that going in the background. Although by the looks of things, the stream is still really choppy anyway. Yeah, my bitrate is atrocious for seemingly no good reason. Let's close some tabs. See if that makes life a little bit better. Not that I imagine it would. I'm going to keep that one open though. Also just going to let's stop that real quick, just in case it's interfering with me. Shouldn't be, but you know. Right, currently we're not getting much done because of the Wi-Fi issues, so we're gonna go a little bit longer on this one, I think. Yo, Selectricity Productions, how are you doing? Good to see you here again. Hope you're still hanging about. I'm not sure when that message came in. There we go. Okay, we've got chat open on YouTube again. No stream. And we pray to the gods of BT that my Wi-Fi works. You know, I am actually kind of tempted to just balls to the wall email like loads of... I'm going to email loads of different YouTubers to test out this game when it's in a better state, but I am, you know, I might just balls to the wall say, hey PewDiePie, you want to play my game? Because that would be pretty awesome. I mean, you know, doubt, but I haven't got anything to lose. Right. Let me see if I can figure out what else I need to do here. I need to go into... No, I don't. No, I don't. Let's just real quick whack a player input module on here. We're going to obviously use the player input actions, which is going to invoke C# events. When we use... Oh, no, we can't change screens with that. Nah, forget it. Right, we're going to have to do this proper. Let's just make sure that the buttons are working properly to start with, though. Hit the play button. The variable button animator of menu button has not been assigned. What do you mean? You should get assigned automatically. Oh, that's a problem. Easy way to do this is change that to start. The proper way to do it is to go into Unity and change the order that things happen. The order that scripts are loaded in. But we're being lazy at the moment, and I don't want to do that right now. What we do need to make sure we do, though, is sort out these button animations. They should be all one shot, not looping. Close pop-up, we need the window pop-up. Floating menu close should be one time, and floating menu pop-up should be one time as well. That's all of our animations for that. Schumer Pog Studios. Brilliant. There we go. So if we set active to true, up pops our menu. Our button hasn't done a pop-up because why would it? And we can't currently change between which button we have selected because I haven't set it up yet. One thing I do want to do though is change that that background color because it's I want it to stand out a little bit more compared to the back. So let's go with that. Copy. Hit the pause button and paste it in there. I should make you mod. I'll do that for next time because look here. I'm a streaming noob still. This is, what's this? 4th live stream? I think it's the 4th one. Something like that. Yeah, 4th live stream. So we'll get there. We'll get there. Yes, I need to handle menu things. So in our player move method, all of these methods here. Again, lazy way to do things and won't be the way that things are. Oh, I've just realised a problem here. Okay, we're gonna have to improvise. We're gonna create a empty and we're gonna call it player master. So the player entity now isn't gonna have this player input module. Stripping that away. Instead, we're going to on here add a player master. New script that we're going to make. Oops. And we're also going to add the player input, which is going to use player input actions. And we're basically going to take all of these input methods in here and we're going to move them out into our player master script that we've just made. Reason being, again, is that canon the story? You know, it might just be. It might just be. I'm gonna put some lore in here eventually. Just got to figure out where to stick it. So, yeah, all of these move methods we're going to Command X, and we're going to stick them into our player master here. So player master needs a public, not a public void, public player controller, player controller. And then all of this stuff we need to I can do alt enter. So this is now going to be player controller dot input vector. Of course it is. Again, being incredibly lazy here. Input vector should be private, but I'm going to make it public because I don't want to make getters and setters right now. This one's questionable. I'm going to come back to it. Make it dark. I might. I'm not 100% sure what direction I want to go in with any lore of the way. I mean, first of all, I want to get it play tested with you guys and make sure that it's actually entertaining. Because it would be kind of rubbish if I spent, you know, I predict I'll probably spend at least a year making this, getting it to like a proper playable, like final product type stage. Like I've said before, I have intentions of making the proof of concept like playable demo to get play tested, and I'll launch the Steam page at a similar time once I've done all of the graphic updates to make it look a bit better. But I can easily see myself spending, you know, until this time next year working on this game, implementing things like bosses, doing stuff like the lore, global leaderboards, speedrunning stuff, because primarily I want this to be I want it to have a strong speedrunning feel and focus. It could be the type of game that you can sit and play for fun, take as long as you want over, but also be you know, a proper if you want it to be intense speedrunning, then let's make it intense speedrunning. So yeah, it'll go on for a while, and I don't want to spend that much time working on a project that's no fun to play whatsoever. So if it gets to probably do like 3 rounds of playtesting and try and get to a final state in, let's call it March, and then if it's not fun, we'll just ditch it, because that's what you got to do sometimes. It's better to ditch a project that people aren't interested in or people aren't giving much of a return to than it is to keep working on it with no return. Cut your losses and all that, because a game is not your baby, to quote Thomas Brush. A game is a game. Right, gonna have a public bool in menu. Basically, any of this, if in menu, then we'll do menu stuff, otherwise we'll do the normal player controller stuff. So they're the only 2 states that the player would be in. You'll be in a menu or not in a menu. What sticker is I can't see it properly from far away. Honestly. So for this one, it's going to be context.performed always. We're going to have to do some refactoring here. Let's Command X that. So if context.performed, then if in menu, we'll do menu stuff, else do all of this gubbins. Let's format that, shall we? What's format? Format. There's got to be a format button. Format. Edit, format. Oi! Yes, that's fine. Format. Format selection. What's the shortcut for that? Format. What's that? Control I? I think it's Control I. So yeah, this stuff I'm gonna leave delegated to the player controller because it's all player controller specific stuff. So what we'll do actually instead is in here we'll have a bunch of methods, update, move, inputs. We'll have a bunch of methods that we'll call from in here. So we'll have a method setSlide and a method interact or call interaction, and we'll have all of that called from within the player controller still. Is it? Oh my god, that's racist, sir. Oh dear. Just totally make a cube remote. Teach me the ways. We'll create some entertaining emote packs. Oh, what am I doing? Okay, so if in menu on move, we're gonna say if context dot performed. In our game manager, do I have it open? I do. We're going to have a public bool. No, public menu. Current menu. This is getting messy. I'm gonna have to do a large portion of refactoring, but we'll set all of this stuff manually for the time being because I just want to test it to see that it works. If context.perform, we're going to say game manager dot current menu. Oh, game manager dot instance dot current menu dot. What was it? I've forgotten what I called the method. What did I call the method? Change index. That's it. Change index. And we're going to pass in context dot read value vector2 dot y, and we want to cast that to an integer, which is not best practice, but like I said, I just want to get it to work. On jump is going to be our X button, so we want this to be the one that we click when we do the stuff. So let's add in our if in menu Whoops, don't know why I'm doing that. Else. Stick that there, and we'll stick that like that. I think that's right. Control I. Works. So if in menu, we're going to say game manager dot instance dot current menu dot click button. Like so. And let's make those methods in here as well. So public void update move vector. Take a vector to move vector. We also need a public void interact and a public void slide, public void, what's the other one? Slide jump, public void jump. And we will, not in menu, in player master, do a quick control X, stick that in there. This context.performed is going to be gone. We're going to be doing that in our input management, but if we're not jumping, we can jump. Else player controller dot jump. Yep, that's cool. This stuff, Command X this, we're just going to call player controller dot interact. Stick that in here. All of this stuff. Keep hitting the P button by accident. Then we're going to attack. Player controller dot attack. Don't think I've actually made that as a method yet. Oh, it's going to be this slide method, isn't it? Yep. That's confusing. I should change the name of those things. Yeah, I'm not going to do anything in the menu. Not this one anyway. We'll probably have it be left and right trigger would change between menu screens or something, but we'll mess with that later. And here we're going to say player controller dot update move vector with our context vector here. I believe that's everything updated correctly. I just need to do if context.performed, otherwise we'll be jumping all over the place. Save. Okay. Well, I suppose we should see if this still works, shouldn't we? Let's drag and drop our player controller in here. I'm just going to disable the menu for now. And we're going to see what happens. I might get some null pointer exceptions because I haven't assigned the menu. Yeah. Oh, I haven't assigned anything. Player master, we're not going to send messages. We're going to invoke C# events. These events, player move is going to invoke... Oh, wait, wait, no, these are all things. There we go. That's going to be on move. Interact is going to be player master Master on interact. Jump. Player master, jump. Now this is probably not the best way to do things. A better way would be to, you know, we've got these two things. We've got player and we've got UI, and they're different sets of input for different sets of input, even for different sets of, you know, use cases, literally being the player and the UI. And instead of having it be that these things check for what they're doing, we should switch the context. So change this, not the scheme, change the map from player over to UI. But again, I'm being lazy and I'm gonna have to do a bunch of refactoring. This is not the way to make a game, guys. Just be mindful. I'm doing this wrong. Hello Dotty, just seen you pop up in chat. Have I read that right? I think I have, yes. To answer your question, this is a roguelike. Similar to Spelunky and Downwell. It's a game about climbing a tower and not dying along the way, basically. Currently 4 weeks into development. Technically 5, more like 4 and a bit. Okay, I'm pressing buttons and things aren't happening. Oh, I can jump. I just can't move. Why can't I move? But I can jump. Is it because I haven't put the functionality in my update move vector thing? That's exactly what the issue is. Ah, fantastic. Man, I've told you before, the internet is not my problem. It is my problem, but it's not my problem to fix. There's nothing I can do about it personally. Once I leave, it will be my problem to fix, at which point I will fix it and get free Wi-Fi. But until then, there is nothing I can do about it. Okay, I should be able to move now. There's movement, there's jumping. Got our attack. Let's find a shop and see if we can interact with stuff. Whoa. Oh, how am I supposed to do that? Like that. Yes. Can't afford it. Can't afford it. Can't afford it. Sweet. What happens if I'm out here and I press circle? Nothing. As if I'm here. Oh, it still detects it as being in range. Maybe it's because I'm on the border, so technically I haven't left yet. I'm hoping it's going to be a an entertaining little final project once it comes out. If you're new here, my intention is to get a demo published in this kind of state by the start of January. So, you know, we got a couple, not even a couple weeks. Actually, no, it's a couple weeks today. I have full intentions of doing a live stream playing a testable demo with some of my friends who are watching over on Twitch, and we'll live stream that as well, and that should be fun. See how it goes. So now that all works, we're going to test it with the menu. See how this goes. Set our menu to active. My player just ran off the edge. That's fine. Let's start again. That's a slight problem. I think it's because my controller is low on battery. But if I'm when I'm clicked out of the game, if my player is standing still, he occasionally just runs off to the left. Okay, so game manager. First of all, where's my menu? That menu, active. Ugh. Sneezing. Brills. Chars, mate. What am I doing? Game manager. Where are you at? Could have sworn I had a game manager in here somewhere. It's going to be under here. Yeah, here we go. Game manager, got the current menu. So I want on my player master, I want to set in menu to true. I'm going to see if this works. Okay. I can click, but we can't move between the different things. We can just do the click. I wonder why that's taking so long to do as well. Oh, I think it's just because I wasn't... Oh, it's because the animation goes on a bit long. I can't spam it because the animation's a bit too long. And it fires off twice as well. Okay, we got some problems to fix there, but easy enough to fix. So our press issue is going to be because we're not checking here if context is performed. So and context dot performed is true. That's problem number 1. It means it'll only press 1 time. Problem number 2 is our change because of this. So what we're going to do is actually say float direction equals context dot read value vector2 dot y, and then if direction is greater than 0, we will say direction. No, we'll do this. Paste that in there. 1, because I want it to, you know, be a thing, and then we'll say pass in the direction of 1, else if direction is less than negative 0.1. So if we're moving in the other direction, we will pass in a value of -1. I think that should fix our second problem. And then once this is working, we'll add in some sounds as well, because that'll get it feeling a bit nice. There's another bug there as well. There's a few bugs that I need to fix. Amazing. Right, death menu, set to active, set our player master. Where are you, player master? There you are. To be in a menu. We can click. We can kind of move. That's a bit strange. It's almost like I don't know why that's the thing actually. That's very peculiar. Let's see if we can figure out why this is a thing. Stick in some debugs because that's my favorite way to do things. Debug.log. Moving up, not moving. Well, moving down it'll be. And then here, moving up. And I'm also going to log out the current button index. And to be fair, if this doesn't work, I am at the moment. That's probably a good plan actually, is testing to see if it works with the keyboard as well. But I want it to be controller supported, so that's also a priority. Okay. Set our menu to be active. And okay, well, pressing the button is doing something. Ah, there we go. It's just backwards. Works though. When I press the up arrow, it moves down, and when I press the down arrow, it moves up. So let's fix that first of all, shall we? Where am I going? Player master. I mean, that should be working. That should be working. I don't know why that's not behaving as it should. That's not expected behavior. Oh god, stop, stop, stop. I want to move you all the way along here. So our first issue here is this. Instead of this, we want to say if current button index is less than 0, current button index equals menu buttons dot length -1. Else if current button index is greater than or well, yeah, if it's equal to menu buttons dot length, I'm going to make it greater than or equal to, just for the sake of being, you know, safe, keep it covered, greater than or equal to. Then we're going to set current button index equal to 0. So now it cycles instead of stopping. I'm not sure why it's backwards, to be honest. I'm going to roll with it for the time being because I don't have the brain power to investigate, and I kind of want to just demonstrate the capability. I'd rather have a basic demo that's full of holes and a little bit buggy than spend hours working on a menu and not having a demo on time, because that's not what we're going for. Yeah, shut up. I could use mod. I could use mod, but like I say, I'm tired. I just want to get it to work. I can never remember how they do those things. Right, let's see here. Dev menu, set active, player master, in menu, click. Yay, now we got this cycling menu thing, and we can click the buttons and they all click. We're gonna have to make that that animation a lot more snappy though, because it's far too slow. Like we want it to interrupt. So let's see if we can do that real quick. Let's go here and we're gonna say how do I do it? I can't remember how. How it works. Can't remember how it works. Either way though, that's something there. So our player entity now, we want to set it up so that we can restart when we die. In 30 minutes. Stream froze. No! was going so well. I mean, are you sure the stream's frozen? I can still see it on mine. Yes, it will be the same kind of difficulty as Spelunky, is the plan. Something similar anyway. I'm going for kind of, I want it to be the type of game that my sister can play, and also the type of game that my brother can play, and it will be difficult enough but not so difficult that it makes him angry. So just for backstory, my sister's like 10. she's pretty young, and my brother is like same age as me almost. He's like 19, but he's a gamer. And as mentioned in the first devlog, the whole kind of joy of this game was that the original motivation behind it was a game that me and him could play, because we were running out of stuff to play. And Spelunky was one of our favorite games with our friends as well. So I know, right? I'm just full of the heart meaningful stories. But yeah, so he's going to be one of the playtesting core group for this early edition, along with, as mentioned, me two mates. They keep bugging me to make them mod on Twitch, and also a couple other people I've got as well who are interested. So, yeah, difficulty-wise, we're aiming for similar to Spelunky, but trying to... sure you do. But trying to incorporate kind of some more Mario-type gameplay. I'm running a lot with... trying to run with Nintendo's philosophies of form follows function, and everything should be around a single should be based around the mechanic. Everything should be built and designed around the core mechanic of the game, which in the case of this game is wall jumping and stomping on things' heads. Rip Bloodstone indeed. Bloodstone did look dope, but it was because it was kind of in its initial state, it was very much so just down well. And the Weird Island thing was a prototype, which I will come back to. I wanted to see how it would feel and see the look of things. Right, let's do what we're doing. So in my die function, I want my game manager to pull up that menu. First of all, let's go into our player master, and we're going to add, instead of this in menu, we're going to say, we're going to have game manager have the public bool in menu. And every instance we've got in menu, we're going to go game manager dot instance dot in menu, game manager dot instance dot in menu, game manager dot instance dot in menu instance, like that. And that should make life a bit easier. It means we don't have to have references all over the place. Then in my game manager, where's my game manager gone? There he is. No, I closed it. Idiot. in the game manager, we're going to, I'm just going to create a public void activate death menu, which this should be done in using events probably, but again, going to come back to it. I'm going to say current menu dot set active. Was it? Oh, I don't have a method for that yet. So in menu, let's actually let's have a public void set state. Gonna take in a bool state, and we're gonna say menu animator dot set bool active, and we're going to set this true, like so. This is not oh no, this is a fine way to do it, because we can, yeah, this is a good way to do it. I will make you mod so you can ban Adam. No spam in the chat, Adam. No spam in the chat. Okay, so then we can go into, yeah, we'll go back to our game manager, wherever it may be. Over here at the front, let's move it back along with the, can I move you back along with the menu? No? Okay, fine. Activate the cover menu, set state, true. And yeah, this is good. This is good. So oh, I've lost where I need to be. Menu. That activates that. Player controller. When we die, we are going to do game manager dot set instance dot activate death menu. Again, I should be doing this with events. I should have a player death, like a player death event, which can then fire off things like, you know, it can do different stuff, and that'll be good. That'll be good. So now we should be able to hit play, and if we die, this menu should pop up, and we should be able to use it as we expect. Let's find out. There's one hit. That knockback is powerful. Hey, there we go. But we can't flip through the menu. Which makes me think the player master hasn't updated. Or the game... Ah, yeah, that'll be what it is. I haven't actually set in my game manager to have in menu equal to true. Really though, I don't want to do it in there. I want to do it in my... no, let's go with it. Let's go with it. Let's do it in here. One. Oh, I didn't mean to kill him. 2, 3. There we go. And we can flip through our buttons as well and press things, and things happen. Cool. So look at that, guys. We have a little menu, which looks pretty fun, pretty cool. So I guess last thing I want to do, I've got 2 more things I want to do actually. We're going to do a pop-up for current level count, so I'm going to have a level details. We're going to have a public int world count, public int level count with a lowercase l. And we're also going to have a new game. We have got a new game, so we want to say world count equals 1, level count equals 1, and we're also, I think, new game. Yeah, cool, new game gets called there. So new bit of UI, which I'm going to stick on the canvas UI. I think that's the right one. Yes. Going to create a new player stats. Yeah, that's fine. Going to create a new empty called level announce, and this is simply going to be, let's just disable our menu UI real quick so that I can see what I'm doing. And you know what, I'm going to drag and drop in a room as well so I can get a scope for kind of layout vibe. It's permadeath. Yeah, you die, you start again. That's the fun of roguelikes. You gotta think about what you do. Otherwise, it's a big rip. I'm thinking I'll probably have it be a 5-world game, each consisting of 4 or 5 levels. So, you know, roughly 20 levels, each of which could be completed in 10 minutes. Then with a boss. That feels like a lot of time, if I do the maths on that. You can pause, but you can't save. The whole idea is that it's speedy runs, and if you die, you die. Where's my level generation stuff? Where's my level generation stuff? I just want to drag a room in, yo. Is it under MISC? No. That's graphics. Oh man, I need to sort out my my hierarchy. Oh, it's down at the bottom, of course it is. Entrance. Okay, where's our level announce? We're going to create a new 2D object. No, new UI object. Panel. Let's try and do this at speed. We want this to be stretch. Big stretch. Let's have this be big stretch first, shall we? Big stretch. Panel. Big stretch. Just gonna scale this down a bit. Like that. Move it up to the top. I want it to be not quite that opaque. We're gonna use this color and we're gonna make it darker. Oh god. That doesn't even... Let's have a looky. So let's say you pause mid-game, you got a load of cool stuff. Do I just have to give up my game because I gotta go? No, you just leave the game paused. You can't quit the game. That's the whole thing of roguelikes. It's not a game that would take you hours to play. It's a game you could finish in an hour or in 30 minutes if you're good at it. And also the type of thing where you're probably gonna die so frequently that you wouldn't need to stress about having all those items, you know. It's like take Enter the Gungeon for example. I can't get past World 1 in that game because of how difficult it is. It's just the nature of the wee beastie. I'm afraid. Yeah, that's how roguelikes work. It's not the type of game that's intended to be played for ages, and not the type of game where loss of progress is, you know, drastic, because you're going to lose progress so frequently. It's the type of game where quitting is okay, because it's not that detrimental. I might consider putting in some kind of save state, depending on how long I make it. Like, take Spelunky, for example. Yeah, Binding of Isaac as well. Those two games, neither of them, as far as I'm aware, have any form of save state. Spelunky has a tunnel system that allows you to skip forwards, but you don't keep your items. And your score doesn't go onto the leaderboard if you decide to skip ahead to future worlds, and you have to reach those worlds in a legitimate fashion to be able to unlock the tunnel to get to them. So yeah, I'm not gonna make it a priority that you can step away from the game, because that's not the inherent nature of the design of these types of games. Quicksand bold, set the color to be our classic light color, make it a bit lighter again as well. I'm going to make it bold and italic, because can I not make it bold and italic? Oh, I can. Bold, there we go. And we'll scale up the font size a whole bunch. And we're also going to set the size to half. Yeah, exactly what good old Kavinsky says there. Chances of you surviving long enough for you to be worrying that, oh no, I'm going to run out of time, are low anyway. As is the nature of the game. Like, your average run would probably be 10 minutes or something. Here we go. So this is going to be our level announcement. We're going to do a quick animation on this. Level announcement. This is going to be the last thing we're going to do as well, because start off with this off that side of the screen, and this one, oh, I forgot to hit record. Let's hit the record button, shall we? This one's going to start off over here, this one's going to start off over here. I'm going to keep 5 frames in. We're going to have the opacity of our background come in. Sort that out. So it's going to fade in, and then we're going to do the classic kind of bring these in sort of close to the center. Oh, Neutja is a great game. Neutja even is a great game. It's got some really cool mechanics in it. No, I clicked off the thing. God damn it. So we're here. Click the record button again. We're going to go across about 50 frames. Nah, more than that. 60, 75 frames. We're going to move them ever so slightly across, so that they're just almost central. Actually, no, we'll make it so that they're slightly past central each. And then we'll basically do the inverse. Fly them off the side of the screen very shortly after. And then 5 frames later again, we will set the opacity of this background to be 0. Need to make sure that the opacity doesn't start going to 0. Let's copy that keyframe, Control C, Control V. It's also doing a weird thing in the middle. Oh, I can never remember how to open the graphs. How do I do it? Curves. There we go. Let's keep this one zoomed in like so. This one zoomed out. Which one will it flat? Not quite flat. Oh, it is going to be flat. Right, let's... Flat. That works. Let's do it with this one as well. This is looking not great at the moment. Oh well, we'll roll with it. I can't be bothered to make it look any better at the moment. Maybe let's just have this position not be quite as far over. Can't get it to just do that smooth little slidey slide. Like I want it to do. It would probably be best to start again, but it's good enough. Good enough for now. We are going to have a default state level announce underscore default, which is simply going to be a, what's it called? I don't have Stardew Valley, no. What's it called? Canvas group. Then here we'll set the alpha to 1. So that it's definitely opaque. Cool. And on my thing here, I'm going to have a reference to a public level announcer level announcer with a C. I thought it didn't look right. Let's go make that. Add component. level announcer. New scripts. And on here, we're simply going to have, once it's loaded, going to add in a trigger. We're going to call it announce. And we are simply going to have this as the default layer state, make transition to here. Instantaneous, no exit time, announce. And then we can make a transition back, I suppose, at 1, no transition. Then in our level announcer, we will of course have a public animator. We will say animator equals get component type of animator. And then we're going to have a method called announce, and we're going to have an int world int level. Whoops. Don't need the curly brackets. We want to be using Text Mesh Pro. And we are going to also have a public Text Mesh Pro UGUI. Nope, just Text Mesh Pro world display. And a public Text Mesh Pro level display. And on announce, we're going to say world display dot text equals world plus world. World display, no, not world display, level display dot text equals level plus level, which, you know, let's change that to floor because we're climbing a tower. Or no, let's have level and floor. Nah, I'll keep it as world. I don't have the brain power to think about that right now. And then we're going to say animator dot set trigger announce. So it does the announcement. Semicolon. Then, really simply, on our game manager, we're going to drag and drop this stuff. First of all, need to make sure that we've got our, it is Text Mesh Pro UGUI, UGUI, and UGUI. The normal one is for Text Mesh Pro in the world. So let's drag and drop our world display in there and our level display in here. And then on our game manager, wherever it may be, I think it's here, there we go. We'll drop in our level announcer. And one last thing we need to do is actually get the game manager to trigger this. So for the time being, we're going to do it in new game. We're going to say level announcer dot announce. Did I not make it a public method? With world count and level count. No, level count. No, I didn't make it public. Public. There we go. So, now when we press play, given it doesn't complain about run orders, we should have this nice little world pop up at the top of the screen. I say nice. Yeah, there we go. There it is. Oh, we've had 2 enemies spawn in the same place. Oh! Oh god! Oh god! What happened there? Well. Oh god. That caught me off guard. What happened there? It worked and then something... that was something. That was something. I have no idea why that happened. I have no idea why that happened. It should have destroyed... What? The variable menu animator of menu has not been assigned. So it just fails to it fails to do things when what? The variable main menu animator of menu has not been assigned. What do you mean? It should assign to itself automatically. Where's my menu class? Menu animator equals this dot get component animator. Yeah, it should do that. Is it because it's not active? That's exactly why. Yeah, there we go. There we go. I'm still gonna have some weird things going on, I reckon. I've spotted a couple of times it's spawning multiple enemies. Whoa, there we go. Oh, well, that was a bit of a an experience, that. Okay, this is cool. This is cool. That's what I need to stick on the death menu. Is a canvas group, and then I can animate the opacity of the whole thing. Tell you what, let's do that as the last thing. The last thing we do. Actually no, I don't want to do that right now. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave that as it is. I'm glad you clipped that little bug. That's quite funny. I might have to post that up on Instagram tomorrow. That's good. That's good. Make that bug the death animation. I totally would, but I think it might just kill people's performance. That's a lot of should we do it again? Should we do it again? Just see how, I mean, the ears as well. That's so ear rapey. Like, look at this. Look at this. Are you guys seeing here? This is not supposed to happen. There should not be this many enemies sitting down here. Like, that's deadly. And that gap is far too small as well. Oh, I know why it is. I know why it is. It's because I've got this room in here. Let's delete that, shall we? Save up. Hit play. Ah. Talk about an eventful closing point for the stream. And on that note, let's call it a day there. So you can see I'm playing with the controller now. If I hold down the stick, it spams through all of the different buttons to the point where it just doesn't want to do anything anymore. Because it's taking like multiple inputs at once. So I have a fix for that in another piece of code I wrote maybe like a month ago. But anyway, that's that. Thank you everybody who came to join in. If you've only just rocked up, or if you missed any bits and came back and you want to catch up, it's going to be recorded and uploaded to both YouTube and Twitch. Twitch obviously for 14 days and YouTube permanently. This is the first time we've gone through a whole stream without the Wi-Fi going down, guys. Can we get a round of applause? Get some happy noises going in the chat, because that's a win. Pre-Christmas miracle, I say. Yeah, hopefully any of you watching for the educational value got something out of it, and any watching for the entertainment value found it entertaining as well. Thank you for the clap. Yeah, if you want to see almost daily updates, follow us on Instagram, Shubadog Studios. You can subscribe on YouTube as well for weekly devlogs, and also these live streams on a Saturday and a Tuesday respectively. Like I say, this game, the plan is to release a very early stages demo in 2 weeks today. So, you know, we've got a lot of work ahead of us, but I think we can do it. I think we can do it. I might do some extra live streams over the holiday period, because I'll finish work tomorrow for the holiday period. And the devlog for Saturday may be potentially late just because Christmas, and I'll be doing Christmassy things, but we'll see. It might be on time, it might be amazing. I guess we'll never know. But yeah, thank you again everybody for watching. It's always fun doing these streams, especially when fun bug things like that happen. And we have made some progress. We've only made one menu, and I kind of wanted to do more than that, but at least we have the groundwork for these menus in place now. And like I say, if you want to catch up on this stream, any of the past streams, or any of the progress or premise behind this game, make sure to head over to the YouTube channel, Shubadog Studios on YouTube again, and subscribe over there to be notified for when we upload new devlogs. Thank you very much everybody. I'm gonna sign off now, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.